Hello again. Okay, so I keep getting advertisements and seeing commercials on YouTube for tinnitus. Thought I'd talk about it a little bit here. Mainly because I'm sick of these, and I think most of them are scams. So, what is tinnitus? Tinnitus is a ringing in the ears. It is a symptom, it is not a disease or a condition. It is a symptom of others, which is my first big complaint about all this. Now, I heard tinnitus originally. I know, I like to study words sometimes. And itis usually means swelling or inflammation. Bronchitis, appendicitis, tonsillitis. That is itis. Tinnitus is spelled itus, so it's something completely different. So that was one thing I was looking at. Back in my mind, I was expecting, oh, this is caused by a swelling of something, and I was wrong because I was spelling it wrong. So it comes from the Latin word tinere. I might be mispronouncing that, which basically just means ringing, and that's what it is. Well, that's what it's commonly described as. Actually, looking up, it doesn't. It's not always a ringing. It can be a humming. It can be a hissing. It can be a clicking sound. I think ringing is perhaps the more common or the easiest to describe, I guess, in some cases. So most people default to saying it's a ringing, even though it can be other things. But so we get all these commercials. Well, let's jump back a little more historically. Around 1843 was the first documented definition or use of it. Let's say documented use. You know, or that's the oldest apparently people can find. So that's the use of the name word. 16th century BC, Mesopotamia, they were describing it. They thought it was caused by some sort of spiritual condition. Either you're haunted by something, or you're having a revelation of something, or whatever. So what does cause it? Loud noises can. That's growing old can. Wax in the ears can. One thing, most definitions I found of it specify it is hearing a sound that others cannot. However, there is rare cases where blood flow in your ears will cause it, and a doctor can hear that if they're listening for it. So that's one, we can diagnose it correctly if the doctor knows to try to hear this. And I don't know if they need a stethoscope for that, or if they can do it just by listening really closely to your ear. But those are rare cases. So what causes it? Growing old. Earwax can cause it. Loud noises can cause it. Some conditions can cause it. Epilepsy. People say sometimes people who are epileptic will hear bells ringing. And that could be described as tinnitus. And like I said, it is a symptom, not a disease or not a condition. Although we will often talk about it as if it is a condition. I've got tinnitus. It doesn't tell me what's causing it or whatever. I'm treating the tinnitus itself, the ringing sound itself, as if it is the condition, which it really isn't. It's just a symptom of it. I mean, acknowledging that you have it is one step closer to possibly finding a cure for it or a treatment. Although there are rare cases are there treatments. I mean, earwax, yeah, you can get your ears cleaned out and you'll do away with your tinnitus. Other than that, it is very rare that it can be treated. So we come to these commercials. No, 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 no. Tinnitus isn't caused by this. It is caused by memory loss or dementia or whatever. And it's reversible if you take the pills. Which actually, I've never gone and watched any of these completely, but I'm assuming they're selling a pill because that's what all these things do. Especially when they turn around and they say, the cause isn't what you've been told all along. And this is wrong, first of all, because they're treating tinnitus as if it is a condition and not a symptom. So, yes, it is possible that they are right and that some tinnitus is caused by whatever they're selling, whatever they're preaching against. And it can be cured by their pills, perhaps. What they're doing wrong, though, is they're stating that all tinnitus is like this. And therefore, in effect, they are misdiagnosing you in some cases, or making a diagnosis without even talking to you. Other stuff that real doctors would never do. In fact, a real doctor would not confuse tinnitus, the symptom, with a condition, and would not phrase it as a condition. So this is one reason why I think some of these commercials are scams. Another reason is they'll pop into my, I'll get ads in my email, 5 a day, all coming from different addresses, even though it's the same subject line. Sometimes minutes apart from each other. I mean, if you're going to not want me seeing that I believe you're a scam artist, then don't advertise like a scam artist does. Because that's what everyone does. The people who say I've won the lottery do the exact same thing. And of course, we've got, the phone scrambler now. We've got caller ID. So they got a new thing where it just, my caller ID will show a random phone number. So I can't call the person back and tell them to stop calling me. We got that with email now, where it will give you, so it's like, John Smith from gmail.com is talking to me about tinnitus. 2 minutes later, it's Mary Robinson from gmail.com talking to me about tinnitus. Yeah, if you're going to advertise like a scam artist, I'm going to assume you're a scam artist. Now, William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy, Star Trek, the Gorn episode, there was an explosion, special effects. They both got tinnitus from this. Or, for the basically rest of their lives, well, Shatner's still alive, were suffering from tinnitus. And it was pretty much, we know what caused it, because it started after this event. Basically, special effects, either they used a little too much explosive or they just had it go off a little too close to the actors. But there we go. Cause and effect. They continued to act, didn't affect their memory. They were still able to memorize lines, still able to function properly in society. So these commercials saying the one cause of tinnitus is memory losses, mental deficiency, whatever. No, we've got an actual documented case. 2 people affected by the same explosion did not suffer from memory loss. So there are other causes. Like I said, maybe you have stumbled across something to where, yes, dementia can cause tinnitus, memory loss, aging. Maybe your pills will work, but you're outright claiming that this is the only cause, that this is the only cure, is a lie. and it looks like a scam, and it looks like you're misdiagnosing. You're saying things a real doctor would not say. So yes, I believe you are a scam artist when you fill my email, my mailbox with this stuff. When I'm trying to watch something on YouTube and your commercial pops up telling me you've got the cure for tinnitus, I believe you're a scam artist because you're advertising like a scam artist would advertise. I will always say that. No, you can't sue me because I'm not calling you out by name, and enough people do it that I'm not. You can't prove that I'm specifically saying it about you, and I've said enough truth. My reasons for it are truthful enough to yes, a court will look at that and say he's right. It does sound sort of like a scam. I'm not saying it is definitely a scam. Your product might work, but you advertise it like a scam, so I personally don't trust it, and I would suggest other people not trust it either. But it's still their choice. They can go, they can watch your videos, they can try to figure out what you're talking about. Maybe it works, maybe they want to try it. That's up to them. My opinion, it's a scam. That was it. Like I said, no real cure for it. Despite the fact, maybe, getting old, if you can slow down the aging process, or you can clear up your memory, which sometimes you can do, maybe the tinnitus will go away. Other than that, it's pretty much you're going to have it. And people saying they have a cure for it, maybe they do, but at the same time, we've got to consider the possibility that they don't. Above all, if they're going to advertise like a scam, it's probably a scam. That's it. Have a nice day.